Hello, Notre Dame. My name is Mrs. Galveo. I teach civics in the IB Theory of Knowledge course.
And my name's Ms. Bromley, and I teach English and drama.
You're probably not in an English class right now. You're probably wondering, how does literacy apply to the current subject that you're in? Well, we're here to tell you that every class is a literacy class.
Every class?
Every class.
Like, every class?
Every class.
Okay, so like most classes, but not every class. Okay, every class, got it. Do you have any examples?
I'll show you. Understanding what you read and communicating effectively are essential components of the English curriculum.
Obviously, it's English.
Visual literacy skills are an essential component to the test.
I like blue. I'm not going in there.
Me neither.
No.
Literacy is about connecting the mind to the body.
Literacy is a huge part of history.
Miss, do we have to write this down?
Making a hypothesis in science requires you to use prior knowledge, just like the inferencing questions on the test.
I want to go now. And also drama?
Yes, drama.
So the point is, everything you do in every class at school is practicing a literacy skill.
And not just literacy test skills, but also skills for life.
So let's talk about inferencing. What is it? Well, using the formula of sentence clues and existing knowledge and direct knowledge, you can infer meaning.
So basically, we're talking about reading between the lines. For example, a lot of internet memes actually require us to figure out what the joke really is. Here's one that's been going around since the Jays clinched the pennant. So let's pretend that we don't know who Josh Donaldson is, what bringing the rain means, or what's going on here.
Yes, let's pretend.
Okay, so when I look at this, it says, I heard y'all were having a drought. A drought. Drought is bad. It's dry. It's when crops don't grow. So it's definitely a bad thing. And when you think about bringing the rain, well, I don't really get what a guy can do, except that the end of a drought is caused by rain, and that's pretty much always a really good thing. So looking at the picture, I also see he's a Blue Jay, clearly. He's got a Blue Jay uniform on and he's celebrating. So somehow I know that this player must have been the one responsible for ending a drought. And since the Blue Jays are obviously not farmers, but athletes and baseball players, I guess we're talking about the fact that he ended their long dry spell of not winning any pennants or making it to the playoffs at all.
Miss Bromley just used the same skills you apply to difficult readings and ultimately the literacy test.
So now it's time to practice inferencing, or reading between the lines, using your green literacy workbook. But first, you'd better make sure you're in full uniform and that there's nothing on your head.
Because Mr. Edwards is on the warpath against hats today, and he's coming for you! Please turn to page 11 in your workbooks, exercise 3, paragraph 1. In the movies, England's King Richard I, he of the Lion Heart and Robin Hood fame, is a hero of spotless reputation. In Hollywood's many versions of the Robin Hood story, for example, Robin worships good King Richard and would willingly die for him. History, however, offers a different slant on Richard's supposed goodness. In 1189, the Pope called for yet another crusade to take back the Holy Land of Jerusalem from Muslim rule. Intent on following the Pope's order, Richard combined forces with King Philip II of France. Together, they managed to take the town of Acre, a port on which is now Israel's northwestern coast. Attempting to blackmail the Muslim ruler Saladin into giving up sacred lands, Richard took 2,500 civilians hostage, many of them women and children. When Saladin refused, Richard promptly slaughtered every last one of his hostages. Now we're going to practice how to approach multiple choice questions using the clue strategy. Turn to the very last page, page 33 of your workbooks. Now we're going to apply the clue strategy to question 1.
What is the main idea of this passage? A. France and England have a long history of being allies. B. Richard I is a staple character in Robin Hood movies. C. Richard I's good reputation hides the fact that he committed terrible acts as king. Or D. Richard I was eager to please the Pope. So students, take a moment and try to figure out which of these 4 answers best represents the main idea in the paragraph. Teachers, please take a moment and as a class determine which answer is the main idea. Listen carefully and look at the screen as we practice one more question. This time, let's try using the clue strategy that we saw in the back of our books.
What is the best meaning of spotless in the paragraph? A. Blank. B. Attractive. C. Empty. Or D. Clean.
I'm going to use the clue strategy to try and figure out the best answer here. So if I use the L and locate this expression in the paragraph, I see that at the very beginning it says, in the movies, England's Richard I, he of the Lionheart and Robin Hood fame, is a hero of spotless reputation. There it is. The word hero gives me a clue. Hero is a good thing. Now, if I go back and cross out wrong answers, a word like attractive seems to be a good thing, and so does clean. But when I understand the word meaning using the U in clue, attractive makes me think of good looking or pretty or handsome. And I don't think that's the kind of way we describe a reputation. So I'm going to cross out the wrong answer, B, because I do not think it's attractive. And because it's hero, blank doesn't really sound like a word that's positive like hero, and nor does empty. So I'm going to eliminate those distractors, which is the E in clue. That leaves me with the word clean. And if I think about it, that makes sense. It seemed like he has a clean reputation, but really there were some bad things in there that I saw in the main idea.
Teachers and students, please turn to page 14 in your workbooks. You are going to read the selection and answer the questions that follow it. Good luck. Until next time.
I'm Ms. Bromley.
And I'm Mrs. Galveo. Take care.